Hello, y'all. Welcome to the Women's Game.
Oh, wow. I think that's like three introductions in a row for you. So I get 1, 2, 3 times 2, 6 extra glasses of champagne. That's the bottle.
Wow.
I'm a happy person today.
Wow. Wilnona. By the way, that's Wilnona. Because Jay's a wonderful introduction. Not Wilnona.
Oh, goodness gracious. Anyway.
To get a full bottle of champagne, should you really have, and should you admit that you can drink a full bottle of champagne?
That's true. I'm not admitting that I could drink a full bottle of champagne by itself. It needs either Jack Daniels, Jameson, or Grand Marnier to be added to every glass.
Absolutely.
Okay, anyways, I'm joking.
That's the way, y'all. That's the way.
We wrote literary life guides that are pop poetry.
With pop poetry, is that all I heard? We still got to work on that tagline. Yeah. Well, We'll get it. No, that's our books. Okay, so we wrote, and I Thought Divorce Was Bad with Other Life Lessons, available on audible.com, BuzzerDoors.com, and Amazon.com. And I Saw It Being Grown Up Was Easy.
Still in the works, but soon it'll be an audiobook.
Joe was amazing. I don't even care it was 2 years because I'm telling you right now.
It's worth it.
Every day that it wasn't here, it's worth it.
Yes.
So don't buy it on Amazon. Just wait for the audiobook. I mean, really, Joe, you rocked it out the park. Okay, and then all the other
series. There's 13 of them.
There's a bunch. And then the Mr. Guide series, and then we have If Only I Would Be, only available on, hold on. Well, I don't know what that was. Like,
it was a costing suburb.
Yeah, it was. It was a costing suburb going on. I don't know what. Anyway, so only available on BarnesandNoble.com. And then we are the co-authors of the 25 Hottest and the authors,
founders.
We're
the founders of the 25 Hottest Authors, Artists, and Advocates magazine.
Thank you for catching me on Ebola Elbow for that.
Ebola Elbow for that.
I love it.
Anyway, moving on. Wait. Should we say where our website is one more time?
Oh, yeah. www.andwethought.com. But y'all aren't here to hear about us. Here to hear from our wonderful guests. Wonderful guests, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, but I have to say your introduction is great. I wouldn't change a thing. I like the free form of it. I like everything about it.
Thank you.
And coming from someone who's co-owner of a production thing,
I feel like maybe it's legit.
I think like we on our set, they'd be like, nah, though.
Nah.
Yeah, you guys are legitimate. You have Ebola Elbow. You have the whole. You have like the taglines down already. You're good. You guys are good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
okay,
definitely.
Let's talk about you.
Sure. Yeah. So my name is Lauren Bettery. I'm the co-owner of Dola Media. We're a content development company here on the East Coast in New York, New Jersey area. I used to produce a bunch of shows on TV, probably most notably Love and Hip Hop on VH1. I have a very, very cute dog and an amazing fiance, and I'm a foodie. And I like dark chocolate. I know I'm supposed to not just say what you said, but I actually do love chocolate. So
well, it's okay. It's okay because
and wine. I'm not a whiskey drinker. I would like to be, but I'm a wine drinker.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, so I have to ask, what pairs well with dark chocolate? Because I'm a milk chocolate, white chocolate person, so I'm short with that.
Okay. See, I think anything really. I love red wine though with dark chocolate. That I have to say is number one. Or any kind of fruit, like any strawberry, raspberry. I'm good with all of that.
Okay. See, now you're just I have dark chocolate because I make cakes and stuff. So now
there you go.
This evening,
you have to.
That's gonna be
it's the easiest thing, right? If you have strawberries, just to make chocolate covered strawberries, stick them in the freezer.
You know what? Yeah, I should do that. I don't know why. What are you doing with that?
That's
I mean,
tonight.
Either you haven't made stuff. Yeah.
You're ingenious. This is why you come up with great ideas.
Yes,
I guess
this is why you content.
And so the first question was
Yep.
to be something amazing, but I mean, I have to talk about the diners in New Jersey.
Sure, please. I would love to. They're the best. That's what we're known for.
So wonderful. We're from Maryland, and so every once in a while, my friends are outside the Philly area, they'll just get some random call hey, I can't make it home because I'm in a food coma, and they're oh man, you hit up the New Jersey diners again. I had to. Okay, I'm sorry.
You have to. Here's the thing. We used to end every night there. I grew up around 15 minutes outside of Manhattan, and lived in Manhattan for years. But I live back in Jersey now. But we would end growing up like every night out, you'd end up at the diner. And because you can get anything, right? You're with people that want to eat, like you're having someone that's eating like pasta next to you to someone that's having like scrambled eggs and then like a pastrami sandwich. Like you can get anything you want. And yes, their portions are out of control. Out of control. We have diners on lock.
Yeah, it's just everything. And when people talk about, they're like, Jersey. I'm like, listen, any state that can have a diner as good as them, like, you can't them. You have to be like, Jersey.
That's it. Now, are you guys like Baltimore area? Like, where are you outside of
Annapolis.
DC? Oh,
Annapolis,
nice.
man.
Okay.
Oh, you actually know where that is?
I do.
Nobody
Yeah,
knows.
I've been there before.
See, nobody knows. They're like Annapolis, and they're like, so you're saying you're in DC? Sure. You know what? Why not? Why?
Yeah.
Why not?
So every time we claim it, then we end up having a political conversation, and I'm like, ladies don't talk about politics, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
Okay, so real question. I know you have real questions.
She told you at the beginning that we would just run down a hole, and then there we are.
I know.
I'm here for it.
Okay, Dick, I'm trying to get us back out. Let's fill the hole.
Okay.
Get
Yep.
us back out.
That's fine.
Okay, see? Let it go.
So let's start with the beginning, of course. How did you start your career? Because you've done so many amazing things.
Sure, definitely. My career started in the music industry because I am a musician, and I was for years growing up. I thought like that was going to be my thing. I'm like, all right, I'm going to fucking be a rock star, and that wasn't the case at all. Very quickly, I knew that. So I decided to work in the music industry, and I did that for like 10 years, and I helped a lot of other people's careers, a lot of indie artists. And then when I was around 30 years old, I'm like, I think I need a change. So I was like, let me go from one crazy industry to another. And I had a friend that was in the film and TV industry. Actually, my cousin's wife was just working at this production company. And they're like, they're looking for people, kind of think outside the box. They like people who have different backgrounds. I'm like, okay, I'll try it out. So I did, and I did a couple documentaries and web series. And then this show, Love and Hip Hop, was coming up. And I kind of just interviewed to be a producer. I didn't really know much of what a producer was, but I just knew I was hungry to do something different. So that started my career with Viacom and VH1 and Love and Hip Hop. And I started at the end of season 1, and I worked on it all the way till season 8 of New York, and worked on Atlanta and worked on all the reunion shows and the spin-off shows. Did a lot of the casting for it. So it was like an unbelievable ride. I was showrunner the last season, season 8, which was great, and the executive producer of it. And then I decided to do my own thing. It was like I had the best time there, worked with the best people. We became like a big family. The cast was amazing. So I had a wonderful, wonderful experience, but decided it was time to do something on my own. And that's kind of when I ventured into my own company, and I've had that since 2018.
So how did you get, not the wherewithal, how did you get, no, never mind. Mm-hmm.
No, do you actually have a question?
Yeah, no, because you jumped from, you were having such a successful career, and then you just jumped on your own. What are like the top 3 things that you can tell people that want to do a transition but know that they have a good job, but like they want to do something else?
It's tough. Sometimes you need like that kick in the ass to say like, okay, I can do this, The top 3 things, you just have to like believe in yourself. Honestly, you have to go for it. Like it's going to be hard, but there's like hardships in anything that you're going to do anyway. Right. And you might as well do it for your own. You're the kind of master of your own destiny at that point. And it's kind of fun. I started my company with my cousin who I grew up with, like my brother, and he's like my best friend. So the ability to be able to work with my best friend every day is like, you can't put a price tag on that, So yeah, you leave something stable and you get like, oh God, what did I just do? But I think it just ends up working out in the long run. If you're really passionate about it and you're happy every day, there's something to be said for that.
It is something to be said to work with your best friend every day. Well, Nona,
yeah.
Hey, man.
This is why I'm going to end up with that bottle of champagne.
I can understand, even though it's a hardship, and when you are working with someone that you love very much.
Yeah.
It seems like, yes, there's hardships, but then you're just like laughing about it. Anyway.
Yeah, you laugh about it. I mean, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But he's been like, we've only ever lived like a mile apart from each other. When we lived in Jersey growing up, we lived around the corner, and then we both moved to Manhattan and we lived around the corner, and now we're both back in New Jersey. And it's just, there's something to be said for working with family. We'll be in meetings and I don't even have to guess like what he's thinking. I just know because he's like in my blood. Yeah. So it's awesome.
Well, Nona and I share glances all the time. People are like, what is that? We're like, It's
Don't worry about
mind
it.
reading.
Yeah.
It's
What
mind
is
reading.
that game? What is that board game that people give you like a clue, like a word, but you can't say the word? I think it's like Taboo or something. I can't remember the name. There's a board game, but I'm like, we would kill at that because I could just like look at you and it'll be like, dog or whatever. Like, I'll just know what I'm talking about, So it works.
It is great to have because there are a lot of times things come up in meetings and you really can't have that conversation. But if you can do the whole eye thing, you're like, we're good.
You're good.
Same page.
You know exactly what they're saying. It's great because he comes from a total different background than I do. He was a copywriter in the advertising world for years. He wrote like the first ad for Advert Viagra, which is a fun claim to fame. But he became like a creative director at an advertising agency, had his own company for like 20 years in advertising. So we've really come from two opposite angles, but it works. And our skill sets are different, but we complement each other. So it's cool.
No, that actually works really great. I mean, to have the production side and then to have the advertising marketing side and being able to stream them into a business. Dude, can I sign up to whatever you guys are doing? I think you should sign up.
Let's do it. I love it. Let's do it. It'll be fun. We could have whiskey and port and milk and white and dark chocolate. We're set.
Why say that? Because and now it's Diamond and Jersey. Don't tease me.
We're not in a stay-at-home order, but it's a safer-at-home order. Now I'm like, is it safe to travel to Jersey for a diner thing?
Safer at home. We have to think of others.
That's very true.
That's right. To think of others.
So I do have a question. I think it's semi-professional question.
I think we've proven over and over again we're not professional.
It's all good.
No, but you said that you worked on like Love and Hip Hop as a producer and went on to. We interviewed somebody before that had worked on like a ton of unscripted shows. Okay. And there always kind of like a stigma to this, where you're not like a real. Have you ever faced that? And if you did, how do you feel?
Yeah, I would say, the reality genre is, relatively new as far as television. I know it's been around for a really long time, but it's still, on the newer end of things. So working on something scripted is completely different, right? It's just a different ball of wax. But I don't know. I personally wouldn't take anything away from anybody. One genre, I think people have strong suits in dealing with, scripted things that maybe producers of reality don't, and vice versa. We really have to think on our feet. Things are changing all the time, especially Love and Hip Hop. You're managing a cast of like 30 to 35 people. And that's a lot, and not to say that producers of scripted don't do that, but I think it's just, it's like a different ball of wax. I also am like one that doesn't pay attention to what anybody thinks. So it kind of works out, I guess, in my favor. There's stigmas to anything that you're going to do, and there's going to be people talking and people saying shit, but I just don't pay attention.
I love that.
I love it. That is like.
Once I asked the question, I was like, I bet you Lauren's going to be like, I don't really care, but okay. And I was like, oh my God.
You're like, oh.
That was my deep question for the day. Thanks.
I get it. But yeah, you know what though? Everyone has a lane, right? Everyone's good at something, and then there's room for everyone to do stuff and grow and, and make a difference. I'm not saying like what we do is curing cancer, but we definitely entertain a lot of people. So I think there's something to be said for laughter and having something to take your mind off the crazy world we live in, to watch other people's crazy world, Yeah,
because sometimes it makes you feel better about your own. You're like, oh, so it's not as crazy. So, yay.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Like, I guess.
I love it because it's mind candy. So
it is. It's exactly right. Let's put it this way. I sat in my house yesterday and watched like a full season of RuPaul's Drag Race because you can't not smile watching that. It's like I'm like, this is great. And it's the first time I've ever really like seen it or gone into it, but you can binge watch shows like, just easily.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love it so much because sometimes because we write poetry and like deep stuff, which is completely opposite from my personality.
Right.
Actually, when people read our books, they're like, I was sad. I was so happy and cheerful, and this book is so sad. I'm like, but at some point you gotta take out the sadness. But yeah, I get that. I get that. Right. You totally like as you're watching that stuff, you're writing about stuff that went on. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna watch some television.
Yeah, you're like, I just gotta go. Yeah, that's it.
And then it's like, okay, in a good, happy place, let's continue.
That's true.
Two-part question is the next one.
Okay, yeah, and then we have the last question. We've been,
Yeah, we have.
I Yeah.
And you're a busy
Wonderful.
person.
I know.
So, okay, first part question is, did any of your music skills transfer over into television and film? And then exactly do you do at Dola Media?
Okay. So yes, I think music skills, I don't know. I think the discipline of, I grew up playing piano every day of my life, but having lessons every week, and taking drum lessons every week and taking like clarinet. I was just a musician. And I think the discipline of that and being able to show up for something every day is important, you know, like you just having to show up is a big deal. There's a lot of times you want to walk away from stuff, but you can't. You just have to face kind of what's in front of you and prepare for things. I used to do recitals and then shows, and then I would play out. And, you know, I think the ability to also hear no is a big thing in any creative industry, right? I mean, there's people that are going to tell you no a lot, and you develop thick skin, but I don't think thick skin is like a bad thing. I don't think it makes you callous. I think it's just you're able to roll with the punches. So I think the music industry definitely taught me that. And then just dealing with like great talent. I mean, a lot of artistic talent is eccentric thinking and they think outside of the box. And I think it's just beautiful. It's not, you don't have anyone that thinks any one way. It's just like this meld of different personalities. So I think it definitely taught me a lot and prepped me a lot for this part of my career. And at Dola Media, I mean, man, we do content for a lot of different things. So we've done stuff internally for brands where we're asked to do content. Obviously, TV is a part of it. We recently wrapped something at the end of the year with Ayesha Curry, Steph Curry's wife. We did a cooking show with her that was brand funded. So that was like the coolest blend of what my business partner and I do. We had a brand come in and fund a 6-episode cooking show that Ayesha was the star of. And it was awesome. We ran it just on digital. And we got like 35 million impressions and about 7 million views on it. So that was a lot of fun. We've done work for the Andrew Yang presidential campaign, which was really cool. He was one of the Democratic candidates. And yeah, we've done stuff for all the different networks, and we've gotten involved in a lot of tech as well, like the HQ Trivia style games. We did a music game called Out of Tune that we did production for. And it's just fun being able to do like a bunch of different things. I do a little bit of everything. There's not any one thing I do. I think owning a company with someone, you tend to just do everything from, you know, the smallest things to the biggest things. I deal a lot with casting. Finding different personalities, putting productions together, you know, everything that I'm really passionate about. Organization and creativity is like the blend of my mind. So it works.
Oh, I understand.
We get it. Oh,
Yep.
we get it.
Sure.
Yeah, we get it.
That would be amazing. I'm sorry, keep talking about Dola. We just jumped in and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
you
no.
like you were on.
No, it's good. We like I said, we get to do a lot of different things. Like we find talent right now. We have so much different talent signed to us for different things. We get to engage great talent and figure out what lane they're the best for. Is it TV, or is it maybe a brand play, or is it something that should just live digitally? But we represent people from like fishermen all the way down to like a psychic medium that we just signed, who's unbelievable and amazing. But it's great. You just get to work with a bunch of different people, find interesting pockets of things going on. And you just get to tell a lot of different stories. That's what we're passionate about. My cousin and I come from a big Italian family up north. So loudness and personalities and telling stories we're not uncommon for our family. So it's like an extension of what we grew up doing.
That's so amazing.
I know she said like Italian, and I was just like, lasagna.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Right.
That was horrible. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, we are thoroughly distracted now. So
yeah, we're back to. I was back to lasagna.
One
in my
second.
head. Okay,
Take your
so
time.
yeah, back out.
Are we back?
Back out. Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
Cool.
So where can people find more about you online?
And Dola Media.
And Dola Media.
Sure. Yeah, Dola Media is just our site. It's Dola Media, Dola Media. It's actually named after our grandmother. Dola was her name, so that's where the name comes from. And then on Instagram, you can find me at LaurenV33.
Awesomeness. Thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Definitely.
Thank you for going down our rabbit holes with us about diners.
Anytime. Listen, whenever you need a diner expert, I've been to a good amount of them, so good way in. What's your favorite diner meal? Like everyone has a go-to diner meal.
Okay, so I literally do just the appetizer sampler because negative when I go to the diner, right?
Yeah, that's good.
I always tell you,
by the time you finish with your evening and actually part of your morning,
Yeah, right.
You know,
That's exactly right. Yep.
all you really want is grease and salt.
That's all. And you
And
have to
then
make the decision sometimes between like breakfast. I think the biggest decision at diners is between like breakfast and not breakfast. Like, because by the time you get there, you're like, should I roll right into breakfast or am I just going to eat, whatever?
So Winona gets the breakfast, so she normally gets the pancakes and the eggs, and then I
Fair.
get the appetizer, and then here comes the plate half.
Yeah,
Okay.
and but there's
Love
this one diner in Jersey that's close to the bridge in Philly. But anyway, they have the best lemon meringue pie, and it is like
Ooh, the stacked, right? They make the big pieces. I'm like, I don't even know how they get it like that.
I don't even know, and I bake. I love baking, and I tried, and I was like, what? I'm a failure. I don't know how they do it.
No.
I have to buy it from them.
It's all good.
Yeah.
That's what they do well.
right after that, it's got to be dessert. It's either that or you're just going in the afternoon for a dessert.
Yeah, see, my order used to be a grilled cheese with the cheese fries and gravy. They do that in northern Jersey. They're called disco fries. I don't know if they do that everywhere. It's like brown gravy with cheese. It's ridiculous. And then I would get a milkshake, like a vanilla chocolate milkshake. So I would take care of everything in one, the sweet and the salty.
That is
something I have to
agree.
Yeah,
I've never science of diners, and I feel like you've accomplished the science of diners.
Listen, living here long enough, you get good at certain things.
I love it so much. Thank you so much for coming out. This was really fun.
Thanks, guys. Yes, you too.
I'm sorry.
No, I was saying this was great. Yeah, thank you.
Jade, would you like to wrap us up?
Absolutely. Look, I said it was professional. That's going to me. Okay. You can find out everything your ladies are doing on www.andwethought.com. While you're there, take a moment, go to the ladies tab, go to the middle of the page, and see the charity that we probably support. Yes, we know that times are hard and money is tight, and we understand, but maybe you could just volunteer some of your wisdom or some of just your time to these charities. Or if you're doing like this big old spring cleaning because you just have all the time in the world, clothes even. That works too. So any of that, we thank you in advance. And really, it's a win-win situation for everyone. So thank you so much. And remember that wisdom is all around you if
you're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love, you guys. I'm going with the regular sign out today from Winona.
Okay, fine. I can't. And
Bye.
Bye, guys.
All right. So we are